How to put away easy forehand approach shot winners. Welcome back to Tennis University, the final solution to your tennis game, where we fix your tennis game permanently so you never need another lesson or another video for your tennis game ever again. Not so you can keep coming back for a drip of tips, tidbits, analogies, and metaphors every single week. Now, we all know what it's like to get an easy junk ball approach shot in the upper half of the base box or the service box, and you know that what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to slap the shit out of it and hit a winner that ends the point. But what normally happens with a bunch of players is they get this junk ball approach shot that you know you're supposed to end the point and put the ball away with, but instead what happens is you usually brush something way too soft, you brush it out like that, worst case scenario. So either you slap it out, I wouldn't even call that slapping, either you brush it out or you hit something too soft and you get passed. How do we generate the forehand that actually puts the shot away and then slaps the ball and then ends the point, okay? Because if you don't have an offensive game and you can't move forwards and take advantage of these approach shots, you are missing an entire half of your tennis game, okay? What you need to learn here is something called a high flat forehand. The problem is that likely you have been conditioned, groomed, and taught to brush absolutely every forehand. You've been taught that topspin only comes from brushing and waving the shit out of the ball to the point where your forehand looks like this, okay? So then when you get these approach shots, you also try to do the same thing. You try to wave the shit out of the ball, and if you just strung your racket and have new strings, sometimes it goes in. If you have dead strings, it goes out. And then you start thinking that it's not a technical problem, but it's a gear problem. So then you start, trying bigger head sizes, 16 by 19 rackets, slick strings like RPM, or spin-friendly strings like Hyper-G. The problem is technical, guys. It is not gear. Because what I'm about to show you, you should and can do with any racket. Again, you have to learn what's called a high, flat forehand. Notice how I'm swinging straight through the ball. You see players at high levels and on the Pro Tour swinging like this, but you were taught by your coach never to do this. And I am telling you, trust your own two eyes. You see players do this on TV, you have to learn how to do this. So what's going on here, big picture, is literally the forehand is just one huge chest fly with a forearm rotation. So one huge chest fly, of course we're turning our body and hips into the ball, but we're turning our body and hips into the ball with one huge chest fly with a forearm rotation, and then we follow through with a horizontal bicep curl and finish either around our deltoid or our tricep, okay? That's literally all you're doing here. You're going straight through the ball. Now, when you hit the ball like this, it creates a very vibrant sensation off of your strings. You, again, have been conditioned to brush the ball, and an implicit side effect of being conditioned to brush the ball is associate anything that's too vibrant with going out. That's what you're afraid of. And I know that's what you're afraid of. Well, you have to use this new technique that I'm teaching you and get used to that very vibrant contact sensation coming off your strings and get used to that ball actually going in. I know I missed one of those. If you miss, what your mistakes will look like is either they'll go out by a foot or you'll hit the net tape. Your mistakes aren't going to be far off target when you miss these. Now, a lot of people will say stupid shit like, this is a low percentage shot. Okay, there's no such thing as high and low percentage tennis. Tennis is not quantum mechanics and electron probability fields around the nuclei of atoms. If you do the right thing, you get the right result. Tennis is causality. Tennis is classical mechanics. If you put in the correct classical mechanical input, then you get the correct classical mechanical output. Anyways, that's me nerding out. How do we do this high flat forehand? First, you have to have the correct grip. If you don't have the correct grip, everything's wrong. Why is the grip so important? The grip is the static angle of rotation that you're holding the racket at. So if you're holding the racket at the wrong angle, you're gonna create the wrong contact angle later, okay? So how do you know whether or not you have the right grip? I'm gonna explain grips to you extremely simple. What I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna explain this bullshit on the screen right now. Everyone else is using the system. I'm gonna explain exactly what's wrong with it in like 30 seconds. Number one, too complicated. You have to look at 3 different parts of the palm. You have to enumerate sides of the handle. You have to taxonomize them with different names. And then you have to associate 3 parts of the palm with the correct side and name and enumerated parts of the handle. Already too fucking complicated. And then you give that whole gestalt a name like continental, western, eastern, semi-western, semi-continental. What the fuck? Why are we giving it geographic names? And then your coach tells you, get Western grip, get Western grip. And then you're like, oh, I'm trying, I think I have it. Is this right, coach? And they're like, no, you gotta move it over. You see where your bevel is? And it's like, oh, I think so, coach. And again, you have no fucking clue. Take 10 coaches, tell them all to get Western grip. Look at all their hands, they have 10 completely different fucking grips. This is a false consensus grip system. The method for understanding grips that's 10 times easier is just knowing what side of the handle that the tip of your middle and ring finger are on. There are 8 sides to every handle. 2 are long, 2 are medium, 4 are short, as you can see on this nice little illustration I made on the screen. If the tip of your middle and ring finger is on the correct side, you have the correct grip. For the forehand, you want the tip of your middle and ring finger to be on a short side followed by a medium side. The medium sides are aligned with the edge of the racket. The long sides are aligned with the face of the racket. So the tip of your middle and ring finger should not be on a short side followed by an open long side. It has to be on a short side followed by an open medium side. And then you have the correct grip, and it should feel like you're just holding a stop sign, okay? Now, when you take your racket back here, what you do, you turn your body and you just push your arm completely out. You don't loop, you don't throw your arm sideways, you just push. And you don't want your wrist directly up, you want it slightly relaxed like you're petting. I like to say sometimes that you're petting a horse, but this is the angle that your racket should be at. Then we're gonna swing to our point of contact. We're gonna pull down, we're gonna rotate our shoulder open, we're gonna pull up to our point of contact. Our point of contact is right here. See how it's barely in front, but all the way out to the right. Okay, everyone says, meet the ball out in front, meet the ball out in front, meet the ball out in front. No, okay, it depends on context. I'll give you another example. You don't meet slices out in front. You can turn around and slice. So you definitely not only don't swing low to high on everything, but you also definitely don't meet every single ball in front, okay? Anyways, when you're hitting these high flat forehands, what you need to understand, you're not reaching all the way out here anymore. This is wrong. Please stop doing this. If you keep doing this, you're not gonna learn how to do what I'm trying to teach you right now, okay? So the contact point for this high flat forehand is practically full wingspan away from you to the right, barely out in front. Now what you're gonna do, the reason your contact angle is open is because you're gonna actively rotate your forearm through the ball. Now, the thing that I hear a lot of people say is, that's not gonna put any spin on the ball at all. Your forearm isn't done rotating by the time the ball leaves the strings. Your forearm's not supposed to be done rotating. There just needs to be the presence of rotation. As long as there's the presence of rotation during contact, you're going to put topspin on the ball. So the thing about these high flat forehands is that they are criticized for being flat, but they're not actually flat. There's topspin on them. The reason I'm calling them a high flat forehand and the reason that I titled this video a high flat forehand is because that's what everyone understands. They understand the stroke that I just showed you as being something that's high and flat. And now I'm revealing it to you right now, this late in the video, that it's not actually flat. You're actually putting topspin on the ball. So again, number one, you've been conditioned to think that waving is what puts topspin on the ball. And number two, I'm now telling you that there's a second way to produce topspin, which is to rotate your damn forearm through the ball. And just nobody's told you this, all right? So if I take a ball out of my pocket and I just throw it and rotate my forearm, I put topspin on it. No one throws balls like this, right? So when we go to this ball throwing analogy, now all of a sudden it makes complete sense how you can go through the ball and put spin on it and why it's not actually flat. But probably for the rest of my life, in order to meet players where they're at as far as their understanding of tennis, I'll have to keep referring to this as a flat forehand when I'd rather call it a closure forehand, okay? Now, when you make contact with the ball like this, the contact sensation, like I said before, is gonna be very, very vibrant. And if you're used to brushing every single ball, you will distrust this and you'll think it's gonna go out. And for a lot of your forehands at the beginning, you'll probably look like this, okay? You'll probably miss it out. Like, it depends on your racket and setup as well. This is a Kevlar, so it's not that powerful, and Kevlar, all the power comes from you. But if you have a powerful setup, you'll probably be missing the ball pretty far, right? Now, I'm telling you to hit with an open contact angle, but if you're stronger and if you have a faster swing speed, then yes, you'll hit it with a slightly closed contact angle. But your racket should never point up, okay? So this wrist waving motion that you're used to doing, we can't have none of that. At contact, your wrist is bending forwards and your forearm is rotating. And then lastly, you're finishing around the deltoid at highest or the tricep at lowest, but never finish below the elbow. So if you finish below the elbow like this, I mean, I was lucky to hit that over because I hit the ball with a good contact angle, but you don't want to do that. You do not finish below the elbow. You greatly increase the risk that you're going to miss it in the net. So again, in order to take advantage of these junk ball approach shots that are in the upper half of the base box that you know you need to learn how to slap a winner on, you have to hit this high flat forehand, okay? Also, last final note here, the ball has to be shoulder to head height. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, let's run through a summary here. The tip of your middle and ring finger should be on a short side followed by an open medium side. Turn the body, push the arm, you want the wrist to be slightly pet and angled down like this. You don't want to be full on stop sign with a racket that's angled directly up. Then you turn the body forwards and swing. When you swing, you pull the arm down, rotate the shoulder open, pull up to your point of contact. Here we go to this camera over here. Point of contact is slightly open and over to your right. If you're using a more powerful string, then you can, or if you're hitting faster and harder, then you can close your contact angle a little bit more. But if you're a beginner learning this, you got to hit it with an open contact angle. And then at contact, you're going to do two things: bend the wrist in, rotate the forearm. You're going to continue closing your chest, and then horizontal bicep curl to finish the follow through. And you are going to finish at highest around your deltoid, at lowest around your tricep. Again, if you do everything correctly, this high flat forehand should look just like this. And you can use this to anytime the ball is at shoulder to head height. You can use this on junk balls. You can use this to hit winners from the baseline. I had coaches back in the day who said, don't try to hit winners from the baseline. Pure nonsense. If you have the ball and you have the move, you can do it. And if you could take the king from across the board on the chessboard, just do it. If the move is there, the move is there. There's no such thing as high percentage and low percentage tennis, because tennis is not quantum mechanics. Tennis is classical mechanics, and classical mechanics is very driven by non-statistical distributions. So there you have it. That's how you put away easy junk forehand approach shots. And I will make a video on how to do it on the backhand side. Not just the two-handed backhand, but also the one-handed backhand. Because I know that a lot of players, if they get it on their backhand side, they like to run around it and hit that nice jump forehand winner. By the way, to do the jump, all you're doing is you're adding this high flat forehand to a jump. What you're doing on the jump is you're loading on the right leg, and then you push off the right leg while kicking back, and then you land on the left leg first, and then that right leg kicks back. So again, open stance, lunge to the right, jump off this leg, land on the left leg. At the same time you're swinging, that right leg kicks back like this. So you add a jump to the high flat forehand. That'll tire you out. That'll tire you out a lot though. So I don't recommend doing that unless you are a heavy athlete and you have a lot of stamina. But yeah, like I said, I'll be coming out with videos teaching you how to do it on the backhand side as well, for both the one-handed and the two-handed backhand. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Join my email list, because the YouTube algorithm can be very overwhelming. People on my email list, they get notified every time I drop a new video as well. So how do you join my email list? Go to my website. That's linked down below in the description and the pinned comment. So you go to my main page, and there's a form below where you can put in your name and your email. Join my email list. Done. And lastly, I created an online forehand masterclass course that will fix your forehand permanently. So this high flat forehand is just one version of the forehand. There's actually 6 different versions of the forehand. A lot of people come to me and they're like, Coach, can I train with you? Where are you located? And then I have to tell them I'm not located anywhere, because I travel all around the world, and I don't, just because I'm a coach who has a big following doesn't mean I own a tennis academy, and doesn't mean I own tennis courts. And even if you want to train with me, we have to have courts, and then we can't train. So, you know, if you want to train with me, you have to have courts. But again, I created this because I know that I can't be there for everyone at the same time to fix their forehand. I can only work with a finite amount of people in my life, and with everyone else that I can't work with, well, I create these premium courses that really organize all the information that I would teach, and it teaches you in the exact same way that I would teach you if we were training in person. You can immediately take everything that you learned in this video and then go ahead to any tennis court with a basket of balls, apply it to your tennis game, and it will work immediately. So again, if you found value in this video and you liked it, then please hit that like button. It helps boost this video so the algorithm can get it out to more people. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment down below. And also, again, if you want to see more of my content and you want it to be on your front page or to be in your recommended sidebar when I upload a new video, then you got to hit that subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.